Good morning, everyone from India. I welcome you all on behalf of Diabetes India. I am Dr. Bansi Sabu, currently the Secretary for Diabetes India. I welcome you all on this virtual platform on inauguration ceremony of World Congress of Diabetes. We know that Diabetes India was founded by Dr. Shaukat Sadikot, late Shaukat Sadikot, before 25 years. And it is the meeting which is famous not only for its international collaboration, but also for its scientific feast. We have a lot of international faculty in all previous meeting. Last meeting which we could do face-to-face was at Bangalore by our Dr. S.R. Arvind. Currently, he is president of Diabetes India. Last year, we could not do the face-to-face meeting. This time, we are doing the meeting on a hybrid mode. Diabetes India is having its own journal with very high impact factor. We also have our own textbook, which we named as International Textbook of Diabetes, named as a Sadikot International Textbook of Diabetes. We do a lot of other activities, which Dr. S.R. Arvind will talk in his presidential talk. Without wasting much time, I will request the event organizer to start with Ganesh Vandana. Thank you. Now we have with us Dr. Sanjay Reddy, who is the organizing chairman of this World Congress of Diabetes India, which is 12th World Congress of Diabetes India. Dr. Sanjay Reddy is also the trustee of Research Trust of Diabetes India, which is an official body of our Diabetes India. So now I request Dr. Sanjay Reddy, who is a senior diabetologist from city of Bangalore, for his welcome address.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Bansi Sabu, for the kind words. Now, welcome all. And before we start, Diabetes India, I welcome all of you who have logged in to attend the inaugural ceremony of the 12th World Congress of Diabetes India, which is a hybrid meeting starting today. Today we have the online meeting, and from tomorrow, 2 days, we have a physical meeting. We were not able to meet for the last 2 years, but we welcome all of you who are there, who have logged in today. I extend a warm welcome to our chief guest for today's inauguration, Dr. Shashank Joshi, Padma Shri Awardee and chair of the International Diabetes Federation of Southeast Asia, and who's also the guiding force for many of us here. I welcome Dr. Vasant Kumar, President RSSDI, and Dr. Sudhir Bandari, Vice Chancellor and Dean, Jaipur University, for their presence. We welcome my esteemed colleague, Dr. Misab Kamal, President, Diabetes in Asia Study Group, for being here for all of us. Thank you, sir. We welcome you once again. And Dr. Erika Nishimura, who's also the senior scientist at Novo Nordisk, who's in charge for insulin discovery, the recent insulin discoveries, and a guest of honors for today's function, or today's inauguration ceremony. The special invitees, Pankaj Kapoor and Supriya Pathak, famous artists who I grew up watching the television shows, movies, and plays. They're both Filmfare awardees, great character artists, who are going to join us any moment now. The inauguration ceremony is not complete if I do not welcome a beloved president and a great friend of mine, Diabetes India, Dr. S.R. Anvin, Dr. Anup Mishra, trustee of Diabetes India and editor-in-chief of our journal, as Dr. Bansi Sabu was speaking of the impact value the journal has internationally. And no words for more for my dear friend, dynamic Dr. Bansi Sabu, who's the secretary of Diabetes India, and the hard work put in my another dear friend and organizing secretary of Diabetes India 2022, Dr. Manoj Chawla, scientific chair, Dr. Jyoti Dev Keshav Dev, for this meeting, and Dr. Rajiv Koval, who's the convener for this meeting, and Mithun, who's traveling on from the airport, Dr. Mithun Bhatia, who's the National Coordinator, Diabetes India, 2022. But the most important thing is we are in Goa for the next 3 days, having a physical meeting. And the local organizing committee, Dr. Kamath, Dr. Naik, and his team, who have helped us put this program together. I welcome all the international faculty who should join us both online and share their thoughts, and all the national faculty who shall deliver the talks online and who are going to be present with us starting today for the next 2 days, both who are here at this venue, great venue in Goa physically. I welcome all the delegates for joining us online and those who are joining us physically in Goa from tomorrow. Welcome our industry partners, press, and all the other dignitaries who have joined in today to attend this inaugural ceremony. I like to acknowledge I miss the presence of our founder president, Dr. Shaukat Sadikot, who was instrumental in founding Diabetes India. Welcome one and all, and wish you all a great 3 days of learning, interaction, networking, and fun. Thank you very much. Welcome once again to Diabetes India 12th Annual World Congress in Goa. Today we are all only online. Welcome once again, all of you. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Bansi.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. It's my great pleasure now to introduce our president, dynamic president, ever smiling, Dr. S.R. Arvind. Dr. S.R. Arvind is a very senior diabetologist, past president of RSSDA, is currently president of Diabetes India. So now I request Dr. S.R. Arvind for a few words and about Diabetes India to everyone. Over to Dr. S.R. Arvind.
Thank you, Bansi. Thank you so very much for that very cordial introduction. And then I would like to welcome all of you to this 12th edition of Diabetes India's International Conference. My dear dignitaries and special invitees on the virtual platform, I will try to keep my speech short, and hopefully I will try to keep it sweet because it's a digital and a virtual platform. Well, just to recollect, 77 million people with diabetes, 26 million with pre-diabetes in India, and most importantly, 44 million not diagnosed. I think we are facing an uphill task, and with Indians having a high genetic susceptibility, we are going to see this problem growing further in years to come. Genetic susceptibility, unfortunately, is something that we can't do much about. We can't change our parents. We can't change our country. So let's see what we can do. I think it's time to act. It's time to plan. It's time to shift gears. I think that's the need of the hour. And this diabetes pandemic is leading to a big morbidity and mortality. And this needs changes at all levels of care. And that is what I would like to stress upon, even in my presidential oration tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about the scientific deliberation in the next 2 to 3 days. Diabetes India is under the umbrella of Research Trust of Diabetes India, which was started by late Dr. Shaukat Sadikot in 2001. And the intention was very clear. He wanted to make huge changes the way we look at diabetes, especially this non-communicable disease, which is striking India. This was a common platform built to bring caretakers, researchers, and stakeholders under one roof. And mission has always been to do national level epidemiological studies so that we have the national level data. It was intended to do relevant research and, most importantly, the education to all sections of the caretakers.
Sir, you're muted. Sir, you're muted.
Sir, you are muted. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So
अभी एक तो ऐसा
I think the important thing is this is a common platform built to bring caretakers, researchers, and stakeholders under one roof. The mission has always been to do national level epidemiological studies, which brings in the national data, the relevant research and education to all sections of the caretakers. We have been able to deliver many of this so far, and studies like PODIS and Cindy 1 and 2 have given our country the statistics related to the numbers and complications, and we'll be doing more of national level research. This is the 12th edition of the Congress. Well, COVID pushed us back by 2 years, and we had to have a virtual meeting last year, like Dr. Banshi Sabu said. And this year we have both virtual and physical, and hopefully things should ease out after this year for a face-to-face interactions. We have had over 10,000 people who have registered even during the COVID time, and even now we have over 100 global speakers and 250 faculty who will be taking part in this face-to-face meeting. An important thing to talk about Diabetes India is that it has collaborated with many great associations like EASD, ADA, ATTD, ISPAT, DAAC, and many others. And this is to bring the best of knowledge to all our delegates. And we will continue to do so in years to come. We will be having monthly meetings. We will be having mid-year meetings, and once a year, our annual meetings. We will also be starting the fellowship program where the doctors will take online courses, and on passing the examinations, they get a certification. And this certification will continue to happen every 2 years. Well, I just would like to tell you all that India is a very diverse country with many languages, religions, castes, and beliefs. Habits and lifestyle surprises me because it changes every 100 to 200 kilometers in India. What's ideal to what is possible are very different in our country. And this is something the caretakers have to know. And they must realize this and plan the treatment options. You have to choose the segment and plan your treatment options. Let's work towards affordable, accessible, and accountable treatment for all with diabetes in years to come. Let's try to make India the care capital and lives of people with diabetes sweet without sugar. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. With that, I will request Banshi to take charge of the proceedings from here on. Thank you.
So well said, President, sir.
Thank you, Dr. S.R. Arvind. Now we have with us scientific chairman, with us Dr. Jyoti Dev. You all know that scientific program is very big for 3 days and how difficult it was to make a scientific program. As Dr. Arvind told that we are having already international collaboration. So we have with scientific program, which is having Diabetes India, American Diabetic Association Symposia. We have with DI and ESD Symposia. We have with DI with ATTD Symposia and many more symposia and many more global faculties who are there. Yes, most of the global faculties are online from today, and few of our national faculty will be also online, but many of the national faculty will be there for 2 days meeting, which we are going to have here physically at Goa. So now Dr. Jyoti Dev will be talking about the scientific program. Dr. Jyoti Dev is a senior diabetologist based at Trivandrum, Kerala. He is also technology main of our country. So now I request Dr. Jyoti Dev for a few words about the scientific program. Over to Jyoti.
Thank you, Banshi Bhai. Dear Dr. S.R. Arvind, Dr. Banshi Sabu, Dr. Manoj Chawla, and all my other dear friends and dignitaries. So first of all, a big thanks to Dr. Banshi Bhai for this opportunity. Let me begin remembering Dr. Shaukat Sadikot. He was the founder of Diabetes India, and I was very, very lucky to know him since 1997. And I have always seen him as a man of vision, and he was also a man of dreams. In every meeting in India and abroad, he used to express his wish. And that wish was to bring down the care of diabetes from ivory towers to ground reality. And that was his dream, to have the diabetes care, the same level of diabetes care to everyone, irrespective of their economic background. He is not with us now. But Diabetes India is very, very fortunate to have Dr. S.R. Arvind and Dr. Benshi Sabu at its top. And Benshi, my dear friend and brother, he's a magician. Dr. Benshi Bhai is a magician and has got God-gifted skills and brains to fulfill all his dreams, including the original dreams and wishes of our beloved Dr. Sadikot. A couple of months ago, Benshi Bhai decided on the theme 100 years of insulin for Diabetes India 2022. And he had some discussions and meetings with a couple of us, and then many other meetings. And we were wondering, of course, I was wondering, how he can fulfill the dream of 100 years of insulin and 100 international faculty in Diabetes India 2022. But we knew that this is going to happen. And Dr. Benshi Bhai, the great visionary, with his extraordinary capabilities and international connections, he transformed this into a reality. And now in this program, we have 100 international faculty, more than 100 international faculty, and more than 150 national faculty attending this program. And this scientific feast at the 12th edition of Diabetes India, I'm sure, will be another milestone, another memorable example of Dr. Benshi's deep commitment to the science of diabetes and his deep commitment educating the healers, educating the doctors from our specialty, from other specialty, the general practitioners, not only in India, but the reach is outside India. And this scientific program, of course, contributed by many, I promise will equip everyone treating diabetes, everyone involved in the management of diabetes, including the allied healthcare professionals, with enhanced confidence in dealing with all stages of diabetes and with all kinds of diabetes. And of course, this is a hybrid model, and that is the model for the future in all the upcoming conventions. And this is to ensure that everyone, anywhere in the world, will be capable of reaping the benefits of education. And in this context, let me also acknowledge Dr. Purvi Chawla, Dr. Amit Gupta, Hardik, Dr. Rakesh Parikh, and many, many other friends who were deeply involved in the organization of the program. I thank Dr. Benshi and all my dear friends for involving and giving me once an opportunity to get associated with diabetes. I was the organizing secretary long ago in 2013 when I got closely associated to Dr. Sadikot when Dr. Benshi Bhai introduced me to Dr. Shaukat Sadikot. And once again, thank you very much. And remember, we are all here to help our patients with diabetes. And we are all here to learn and then translate the learning to help our patients with diabetes. Modern medicine is so different from indigenous systems of medicine. And we keep on innovating, we keep on advancing. And learning never ever stops in diabetes. So wish you all, my dear friends, a happy and a fruitful learning and teaching experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jyotidev. Now I will request Dr. Anup Mishra. Dr. Anup Mishra is editor-in-chief of our journal, Diabetes India Journal, which is Diabetes and Metabolic Syndrome, Clinical Research and Review. He's also the trustee of Diabetes India. And we all know in last 3 years where our journal is now. It is one of the highest impact factor journal in field of diabetes and metabolic syndrome from this part of the world. And we are really very proud of our journal and very proud of our editor-in-chief, Dr. Anup Mishra, who is also Padma Shri awardee. And now I request Dr. Anup Mishra for a few words for journal and for Diabetes India and for our Congress. Over to Dr. Anup Mishra.
Thank you, Banshi. First of all, let me thank you, Arvind, Manoj, Jyotidev, everybody who's been involved in organizing and who's so very well devoted to Diabetes India. Myself have been in Diabetes India since a very long time and had privilege to be associated with Dr. Sadikot, learned a lot from him, and under his tutelage became associate editor of Diabetes and Metabolic Syndrome Clinical Research and Review. He is the one who actually sowed the seed of international publications in this journal. So what I'm doing today is only making a little more refinement and putting journal on a little higher pedestal. Now, let me just enumerate a couple of achievements of journal in the last 2 years. So while the world went down with the pandemic, our journal went up in our ranking. Our journal received more than 1,000 submissions. Second year in the row, total 1,160 submissions in 2021, which is double than 2019. We worked efficiently to take decision, and we means Dr. Bansi Shabu, Dr. Arvind, Dr. Jyoti Dev, and all in editorial board to take decision on more than 1,000 journals again second year in the row. So almost my 1 hour a day is devoted to journal in the evening, where I look at the various articles and make a very swift, we try to make a very swift decision. If it has to be rejection, within 48 hours, I reject that. And if it is something to be reviewed, I ask our reviewers to do the job in an efficient manner. 356 articles were published in 6 issues in 2021, averaging 59 articles every issue. This is one of the highest article density in any journal from not only this part, but many other parts of the world. We were, thanks to Dr. Sadikot, we were about 20 to 25% articles were from international origin in 2017-18. And I'm very fortunate that now it is 63% of submissions came from international origin and many from USA. Tremendous growth in site score. Now, site score means one particular article, how many times it is cited. And during the pandemic era, we were ahead of Annals of Internal Medicine. We were ahead of BMJ as far as citation of diabetes and COVID-19 is concerned. We were on 3rd place worldwide. Previous site score in 2019 was 4.9 and current site score is 10, which is far ahead of any journal in India and in South Asia. So other journals in India are somewhere around 3, 4, 5. We are at 10 at this point of time. And usage, readership has doubled since 2019. In 2021, our articles were used more than 800,000 times on Elsevier platform, which is Science Direct or Clinical Skills. So these are some of our humble achievements. We hope to achieve much more in future under the guidance of all of you. And I'm eternally indebted to Dr. Bansi Shabu, Dr. Arvind for guiding this difficult ship. It was a little bit, unstable because untimely device of Dr. Sadikot, but it has been firmly in grip now. And I'm very privileged to be editor-in-chief of this very, very good journal, and we're privileged to be part of Diabetes India. So thank you again, all of you, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Anup Mishra. We all know he is our Kohinoor diamond of India and as far as diabetes is concerned. And we know that how the journal is growing in our country. Just to inform everyone that this year we have one article as a sugar monitoring should be considered as a 5th vital sign. And that had become, on that basis only, we had done our 1 million test and our Defeat Diabetes campaign also, which ran in India for 3 months under RSSDI. I was president of RSSDI, and it was very impactful program which we have done across the country. And sugar monitoring is now started considering as a fifth vital sign in our country. So thanks to Anup Mishra and to all those who are involved in that particular article. And now we have, I would like to request Dr. Kamlakar Tripathi, but just I got the message that he is traveling, he is still in the flight, so he could not join. Dr. Kamlakar Tripathi is editor-in-chief of our International Textbook of Diabetes, the first textbook of International Textbook of Diabetes, which we named as a Dr. Sadikot International Textbook of Diabetes. Very popular in our country. We were having more than 10,000 copies across the country. Many of our postgraduate students, undergraduate students, and young clinicians and diabetologists across the country who were reading this book. And now we are going to have our second edition with this. And can I request Dr. Amit Gupta, if he is there, he will be our executive editor for this, as Dr. Kamlakar Tripathi is not there, if he can talk few things about the book. Dr. Amit Gupta.
Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity as Dr. Kamlakar Tripathi sir is not there to just mention few things about the textbook. The first edition of the textbook was very highly appreciated, and more than 10,000 copies were circulated. And now the work is in progress for the second edition of the textbook. The mailers have already been sent to the international as well as the national faculties and the contributors, and we expect to come up with the edition sometimes in the December. And I'm sure the second edition will add a lot of new information. It will be a major revision to what has been published earlier, and I hope it is going to be a great academic treat for everyone in as a textbook. So this is what I wanted to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Our special invitee will join by 10:15. So I will request before that with Dr. Meshba. Meshba is currently president of Diabetes Asia Study Group. Dr. Meshba is very close friend of us. Diabetes Asia, what it is, how you can join. I am engaged as one of the founding member of Diabetes Asia Study Group. Diabetes Asia Study Group originally started from Middle East and across the country. I mean, across the Asia, many associations are also member, and we are also from Diabetes India as a organization. We are also the member, and many of us are as an individual member of Diabetes Asia Study Group. And those who are not the member, I will request them to join Diabetes Asia Study Group, and please see our website. I will request Dr. Meshba as our guest of honor for this Diabetes India inauguration for a few words. Over to Dr. Meshba.
Oh, thank you, Banshi. Thank you, everybody. This is fascinating and magnificent act. Actually, I have been joined to Diabetes in India many years ago, and I remember my dear friend, late Shaukat Sadikot, and this dynamic one, Banshi Sabo, I congratulate you because as we know that the diabetes in our developing countries have many similarities, and we are facing challenges and problems, not only for diabetes care, but also for the non-communicable diseases. And I am proud to have Banshi and Shashan in our board in Diabetes in Asia Study Group, and Banshi is now the vice president of the Diabetes in Asia Study Group. Many times I came to India and meet our friends physically, and I hope that this will again be the next time we will be there, and we will negotiate what are the challenges and how we are going for. But let me express my deep gratitude and intense pleasure to join you in this prestigious one, not only for the conference, but also for what I am seeing, how it goes in India, with a very hard work for increasing the standardized level of diabetes care through the education and through patient care. And I congratulate you, Banshi, and all the organizing committee for this fascinating program and for the continuous work for our people with diabetes in all Asia and in India, because India is a great nation and have a dense population and they have many, many challenges like the other countries in our organization, the Diabetes in Asia Study Group. And my great pleasure to join you, and I congratulate you for this fascinating program and the continuous work. Thank you, Banshi. Thank you, Shashan, and wishing you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Meshba. Now I'll request Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, very close friend of us, close friend of mine. Dr. Sudhir Bhandari is currently the Vice Chancellor of Rajasthan Health University. He is also very closely associated with Diabetes India. He was organizing chairman of our Diabetes India Congress, which was 9th World Congress of Diabetes India, which he has done at Jaipur. Dr. Sudhir Bhandari is a professor of medicine. He is head of Department of Medicine, then he is Dean of Medical College, SMS Medical College, and now he is currently Vice Chancellor of Rajasthan Health University. So now I will request Dr. Sudhir Bhandari for a few words for Diabetes India and for his blessings. Over to Dr. Sudhir Bhandari.
Yeah. Good morning. At the onset, I express my gratitude and compliments to Dr. Bansi Saab, who has been pillar of taking all about diabetes, the education, research, conferences, publications to another level. Diabetes India has been a brainchild of Dr. Sadikot, who leaves behind great imprints in our mind. In fact, as an academician, as a clinician, as a researcher, he was a fine gentleman. If you look at our international presence, it began with Dr. Sadikot's efforts. Look at the IDF and all our international collaborations. Probably we have taken to another level with the enthusiasm of Bansi Sabu, but beginning began during Sadikot's time. Diabetes India is a very different academic conference, academic meeting, which is more of a very class academic contents. If you look at the scientific program carved out, is wonderful. It gives us a opportunity for all of us to share our thoughts for better patient care, better clinical research, to discuss what is new about in diabetes and what best we can do to achieve the better control of diabetes in the world. Dr. Banshi Sabu's and team's endeavor of making blood sugar as a fifth vital sign has been so well accepted. I happen to interact with some of our alumni which are internationally placed. They all had accolades about this thoughtful idea. And in fact, many of people have adopted world over unofficially or in the personal capacity as sugar being one of the integral part of the vital work of the patient. Diabetes India inspires us. Diabetes India really takes us to another level of academics, and I compliment all the team sitting here. Probably it is one of the meetings we'll always look forward to interact. I have been very closely associated with Diabetes India when it was held in Jaipur. Now, university of ours has 53 medical colleges affiliated. We will always be available to Diabetes India, RSSDI, and any diabetic forum to streamline certain courses, educational programs, and to take any academic endeavor to a higher level with the help of Diabetes India. I once again thank Dr. Bansi Sabu for having invited me and all of you who have been integral part of this academic feast. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, for your kind words and words of wisdom. Now I request Dr. Vasant Kumar, our current president of RSSDI, Research Society of Study of Diabetes in India. Dr. Vasant Kumar is a very senior diabetologist based at Hyderabad. Dr. Vasant Kumar is currently president of RSSDI, and I will request him for words of wisdom from Dr. Vasant Kumar on this occasion of World Congress of Diabetes India inauguration. Over to Dr. Vasant Kumar. Dr. Vasant Kumar was there. Did anyone can call him?
Yes.
Yes, he is there. He is there. Sorry. Dr. Vasant Kumar. Yes, sir. Dr. Vasant Kumar, sir. Sir, unmute yourself.
Good morning, Dr. Bansi. It was wonderful listening to all our colleagues just now.
Sir, unmute.
Thank you. So it's wonderful to be with all of you for the last 45 minutes, listening to all the seniors and trying to understand the great work that has already been done by Diabetes India ever since Dr. Shaukat started this. Dr. Anup was mentioning so many things. And today we have come to the stage where we are doing such wonderful conference, this time both physical as well as hybrid. I think it's only possible with people like Dr. Bansi Sabu, well assisted by all our great friends, Dr. Sanjay and Dr. Manoj, and so many of them under the presidency of Dr. Arvind. So we are all happy to be associated with this great event. And I wish a great success for the coming 3 days. And I'm sure it's going to be useful to this huge number of attendees, which I was told already crossed 10,000. So I hope this work will be continued in memory of Dr. Shaukat. And also, as your president has mentioned, that the ultimate goal is to provide affordable, sustainable managed treatment to all our diabetic patients. So I wish everyone all the best. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vasant Kumar, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Dr. RX Events, do we have the recorded video of Erica or do we have her live presence? So now I request.
Bansi,
Sorry, yes, Manoj?
no, I think we've written her to join in, but probably we can play the video. I think she may have difficulty on joining on the Zoom platform, so we could go ahead and play the video.
Okay. So anyone from RX Events, Neelam?
Yeah, sir.
So I will request Manoj to introduce Erica and few words about the 100 years of insulin, as we have this year our theme and why we invited her. So over to Manoj for a few words, and then we will start with the video of Erica.
Thank you, Bansi. So Dr. Erica Nishimura, who is joining us from Copenhagen, is with Novo Nordisk. While we were celebrating the 100 years of insulin discovery at Diabetes India 2022, we reached out to some of the companies who've been involved in the manufacture and availability of insulin over the last 100 years. Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly, Sanofi, many such companies. And we had the pleasure of Dr. Erica, who agreed to join us today. But we believe there's been some technical difficulties in her actual presence, but she was kind enough to record her video and send us, as she's been involved in the last few decades with the processes of new insulin discovery and the science of newer insulins that we're going to experience and give the benefit of to our patients in the coming years. So with that, let me ask RX team to play the video from Dr. Erica Nishimura from Copenhagen, Denmark. RX, Neelam, can somebody play Dr. Erica's message
No,
here?
I think there is some confusion. She had asked that she will be joining live and she had not sent her video. But unluckily, we are not seeing her now. And we had again tried and we have written mail also. So I'm sorry for that. Now, I will request again Manoj to introduce our special invitee. We have with us Supriya Pathak and Pankaj Kapoor. So Manoj to introduce them, and then we will have a recorded video of Supriya first, and then we will have Mr. Pankaj Kapoor for live discussion also. I mean, for his live words also. Over to Manoj.
Once they have joined in, I'm not able to see if they've joined in as well. But let's move ahead in our program. So we have the pleasure of inviting and welcoming our two special invitees from the theatre and Bollywood group from India. Two of the most acclaimed artists. Gives me great pleasure to introduce Mrs. Supriya Pathak Kapoor, who's been a well-known face in both Gujarati and Hindi theatre and movie scenarios. It's extremely difficult to pick up one performance, one movie, one theatre, one play of hers that you would remember. She's a common face for all of us. And just to name a few, you would remember her character as Hansa from the popular TV serial. And of course, amongst many of her roles, she's played Ba from the movie Ram Leela, Goliyon Ki Ras Leela, Ram Leela. Extremely wonderful characterization of that the Ba, the Lady Dawn, so to say, in that movie. So similarly, she's had many such performances. She's won 3 Filmfare Awards as Best Supporting Actress. And she is joining us to share with us her experience with diabetes and a message for all of us physicians who are involved in taking care of our patients and trying to improve lives of our patients with diabetes. So with that, let's start the message from Mrs. Supriya Pathak Kapoor.
Hey, I'm Supriya Pathak Kapoor, and I am here today to talk about health issues, which is very different and difficult for me to do because I'm an actor and I don't really like talking about health problems that you have. But about 10 years ago, I kind of realized that I have diabetes. And well, as everybody feels that, diabetes is a very scary thing to have, and I was also worried about it. But my doctor was a very, very sweet man, and he told me that it is something that one has to live with. And it's a very easy disease to work around if you know how to manage your life and be at peace with diabetes. I've had wonderful doctors looking after me and helping me through this whole process, and it has been a journey for me to learn what diabetes is, and I'm extremely proud of being able to be at least in control a little bit of this disease and live a life which is happy and positive. I would like to congratulate the medical community for 100 years of insulin, of giving us insulin and making our lives so much more happier with this disease called diabetes, and giving us hope and looking after us. And I congratulate all the people in this in the committee and in this organization for celebrating this lovely moment of 100 years of insulin. And all the best to everybody who have been such patient and great workers towards solving diabetes as a problem, and sending so many messages of awareness and making people aware of how they can fight this disease and not be scared of it, and not worry about it so much, but learn how to change your life and make a little bit of sacrifices and changes in your life to be able to live a more healthier life with all the help and advice that a doctor gives you. So thank you, doctors, for being such wonderful helpers for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Supriya ji. Friends, it gives me great pleasure.
She can join also live and she
To
can
welcome. Yes, I think we have Mrs. Supriya Pathak Kapoor and Mr. Pankaj Kapoor who've joined us. I already introduced Supriya ji. It gives me great pleasure to welcome and introduce Mr. Pankaj Kapoor as well. As we said, many of us have grown up and enjoyed all the talent that he shared with us through different media, be it theater, serials, plays, and movies. Mr. Pankaj Kapoor is a national award winner, as well as Filmfare Award winner for many of his performances. Extremely difficult, again, just like Mrs. Supriya Pathak Kapoor, to pick one such performance over the years. I think everyone will have their own favorite ones, be it the Karamchand with the Gajar and Carrot, or the roles from Makbul, or something which strikes me again a little dark shade, and maybe Pankaj himself can share his thought in working on that, was Ek Doctor Ki Maut. Not something that had its own shades, but Pankaj again is here to share with us, and both Supriya ji in person, their thoughts about managing their diabetes and an inspiration and a celebration of the 100 years of insulin discovery through the medium of Diabetes India 2022. So over to Supriya ji and Pankaj Kapoor.
First of all, we congratulate all of you for doing such wonderful work. All the set of doctors and scientists who have worked for the last 100 years or maybe more, and you're celebrating the 100 years of insulin. So congratulations for that discovery and the refinement of that over the years, which I think for anybody who has this whether you call it problem or a condition of diabetes, this is a great help that has been extended by the fraternity of scientists and doctors. First of all, many congratulations for that. Second is, I think the earliest teachings by the doctors given to us basically was that, like, to maintain your body, you require certain food. So you eat certain amount of carbohydrates, certain amount of protein, and certain amount of other things. Similarly, if there's a deficiency in the body, it needs to be supplied by medication. Now, which is something which needs to be understood by, frankly, by a very stubborn mind like mine. It took me a while to understand that. But I was taught by my doctors and explained by my doctors that you can manage it by three ways. One is by, first of all, consulting a doctor who will tell you whether you need to be on medication or not, then start the medication. Secondly, by exercising, by keeping yourself fit. And third is by making choice in terms of the kind of food that you eat. So if you exercise all these three things, you would possibly be able to manage a completely normal life, maybe a healthier life, because most of us, if we do not have a condition, tend to overdo things in life and not tend to indulge and not take much care. But I think if I look at it from a positive point of view, what diabetes did to somebody like me, with the perspective that the doctors presented to me, was that how to lead a healthy life and how to eat healthy, how to stay healthy with the help and consultation of the doctor. And also one very important thing that I learned, don't be your own doctor. Go to a doctor, ask the doctor what needs to be done, and follow the guidance. Now over to Supriya ji.
No, I personally also quite agree with Pankaj ji about exactly what happened. And as I said earlier to all of you, but I also want to add that, if you treat it with happiness, I think it works better on you. You have to be very positive about the way you look at it. And I think especially our doctors gave us a lot of encouragement and positivity. I mean, they didn't scare us or anything about it. Everywhere else where we go, we are always scared. Oh, you've got diabetes. Oh, you're always so. But my doctor, I think, has always given us a perspective that okay, it's there, it's a condition, but you can survive and survive very well. As Pankaj said, might be much more healthier than what we would have been otherwise. So it's just an attitude. It is just a way of looking at it. And if you have the right doctor, I think every problem is sorted.
Thank you so Okay, sorry. I said thank you so much, both of you, for joining in. I know you all are in Bias with limited network. But before you sign off, I must ask both of you about which is that next performance of each of you that we all should be looking forward to. You're mute. Both of you somehow are mute.
Pankajji, unmute yourself. Supriyaji, unmute.
Maybe the host has to do it, something to do with.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yes, now we can.
So I have one show which is going on just now on Hotstar, which is called Home Shanti, which is a nice feel-good kind of show. And I think a couple of films coming up, but a lot of my work must have seen recently, which was Tapper on Sony Live. And, that's a work which is good fun.
So in my case, it's a Jersey, which has just released. I just worked in that, and a film called Jab Khuli Kitab, which should be releasing in near future. A film called Bheed, which should release in near future. And there is a film called Happy, Happi, on Z5, which in case somebody wants to see, they can see. And JL50 on Sony Live. In case people have not seen it, they can see that. So that's about our work.
Thank you.
Currently.
Manoj,
Yes, Dr.
one word as the president of DI. I thank you so very much to both our dignitaries who have been there, and it was great listening to you because we all grew up looking at your movies. And thanks for being there for Diabetes India. And I would love to request both of you, if possible, to be the ambassadors to talk to the people that diabetes is easy to live with, and then it's a way of life, and then probably you will live longer. And then if you can agree to that, you can actually become the ambassadors, representing diabetes.
Actually, what you have said, doctor, is something which is very strengthening for us.
Yes, I mean, you are giving us more
courage. You are people who scientifically know about these things. And if it comes from you, it makes us very assured and makes us feel very good. As I said, that our doctors have always made us feel very positive about it. And I think that's so wonderful. And amazing work being done by all the scientists and all the doctors world over towards this one problem and many other problems. Many congratulations for that again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, doctors. Thank you very much.
Just before you sign off, both of you, we as doctors tell all our patients 30 minutes of exercise, 40 minutes of exercise. What is your advice? How much time should doctors spend on the television?
Well, as much as you can, so that you remain happy and sane yourself, so that you can keep
so many of us. So just for your relaxation, whatever time you can afford. Our
prescription is do what you enjoy doing. That's it.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you, Supriyaji. Thank you. Just to inform you that more than 10,000 doctors from all across the country who are joined and who are the part of this meeting of Diabetes India. And we have physically more than 1,000 doctors who have come here at Goa who will be joining the meeting for this. And once again, thank you very much for joining us.
And we thank you.
Thank you.
We thank all you doctors.
Thank you for us. And thank you being, as a brand ambassador for diabetes in our country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, both of you again. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bansi, over to you.
Yes. Once again, thank you, Manoj, for getting Supriyaji and Pankajji for this show of our inauguration program. Now I request Dr. Rajiv Koval to introduce our chief guest. We have with us Dr. Shashank Joshi. I will to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you so much, Bansi.
Rajiv, just a minute. Sorry, sir. Just a minute. Before we introduce him, let us have the lighting of lamp and then we will introduce him. I'm sorry for that. So can I request RX Events for lighting of lamp? All the dignitaries
Saraswati Namastuvyam
Bansi, Dr. Erika has also joined us.
So yes, we can ask the Erika for a few words. Erika is there. So Manoj, again, you invite Erika for a few words from her.
Yeah. Dr. Erika, I had the privilege of introducing you earlier. Dr. Erika Nishimura from Copenhagen, Denmark, with the Novo Nordisk Foundation, has been involved in the work and discovery of newer insulins. She is joining us today to share her thoughts on the 100 years of insulin discovery, the journey, and what do we really expect ahead for insulins and diabetes care products, which will improve the lives of our patients with diabetes. Dr. Erika Nishimura.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Erika.
Yes, Erika, we can hear you.
Okay, so then I'll just share my screen. And can you tell me when you can see the screen?
We can see, yes, we can.
Okay, I'll just put it into full. Okay, so I'm really very privileged to be able to talk to you about the 100 years of insulin discovery. Just say a few words. Those of you who are interested in the topic, there's a review I can refer you to where it goes into a lot of detail. But today we're just going to do a quick review of the 100 years of insulin innovation. And we all know how momentous this discovery of insulin was for the people of having diabetes. 100 years ago. So there's a lot of background noise in the discovery of insulin gave a huge impact for people with diabetes, and it was actually a life-saving medication. And since then, there has been a lot of innovation. Even in the first 50 years where we were only using animal insulin preparations, there was a lot of work done to make more highly purified insulin so we could avoid reactions. But then in the 80s, with the availability of recombinant technology, human molecular biology technology, it was possible to make human insulin. And this was actually a big achievement. We can use the actual human hormone for therapy. And not long after that, we have been able to design new insulin analogs that were either more rapid acting or longer acting to mimic the physiological needs of insulin. So today we have a number of insulin products that can be used either as mealtime insulin or basal insulin, and also biphasic mixes. So there's a number of options for treating people with diabetes with insulin. However, we all know how difficult it still is to use insulin therapy, also with the risk of hypoglycemia and weight gain, etc. And it's not easy for the patients to use insulin. So it really still isn't optimal. And today we can envision that there are new ways of designing new generation insulin analogs that would have that would be better for the patient. So we're thinking about the patient when they have to take their insulin. So what we're doing is that we're working on in the lab, so this is still research, on ways of making insulin molecules that maybe have less hypoglycemia risk, less weight gain, better cardiovascular disease outcomes. And one way of doing this is try to design insulin molecules with tissue or pathway targeted action. So these are things that we're working on in the lab. what we have more closer to getting to the patients and to you as physicians is the possibility of a once weekly basal insulin. So being able to provide basal insulin action throughout the week with just one injection. And there are two very promising molecules currently in phase 3. One of them is the insulin FC conjugate being developed by Lilly, and the other is insulin icodec developed by us at Novo Nordisk. And these two have shown some very interesting phase 2 results. So hopefully this is something that will be available in not too long for you to use for your patients in India. So it's something to look forward to. We still have not given up on the opportunity of delivering insulin orally. So a tablet or capsule that can be used to provide insulin that would be much easier for patients instead of having to inject. So we and many other researchers around the world are actively working on trying to design oral insulin therapy. And finally, I would say what is the ultimate goal or ultimate insulin would be the smart insulin analogs that can sense when glucose is high and glucose is low. So it would only work when glucose is elevated and would have much less activity when glucose is low. So this would really prevent hypoglycemia and still being able to achieve normal glucose levels. So I think with that, I would just say that, you know, we are, now my screen is stuck. I can't get to my last slide. Anyways, the last slide was a conclusion to say that we have come a long way in the last 100 years in terms of insulin innovation, but we still have a lot that we can do to be able to provide insulin therapy that is more optimal and easier for the patients to use. And in addition to insulin analogs, we may even have the opportunity of one day being able to provide insulin-producing beta cells back to the patients. This is some of the research we were doing in terms of engineering stem cells into beta cells. So with that, I'll say thank you very much, and I'm very sorry that my slides have frozen, but I hope...
Thank you, Erika. First of all, thanks for joining
there it goes. Yeah.
Copenhagen early in the morning, and we are really thankful to you for joining for this Diabetes India inauguration. Thank you very much. Now I request...
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Now I request Rajiv Kovil to introduce our chief guest. Shashank is going to have flight at 3 o'clock. We have his recorded video also. If he is live, then he can talk. So Rajiv, please introduce Dr. Shashank.
Thank you so much, Bansi. Let me welcome everyone to the World Congress of Diabetes India. Dr. Shashank Joshi doesn't need any introduction. He is the IDF Southeast Asia chair. He is the past president of all association in the metabolic and the space of medicine, whether it's API, STCON or RSSDI. He has been right up there in the COVID task force of Maharashtra. And for the work that he has done, he has been conferred the Padma Shri in 2012 by the government of India. Welcome, Dr. Joshi, to the World Congress of Diabetes India. Over to you, Bansi.
Yes.
Pradeep, please allow me to say hello to Shashank and Bansi sir.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Ajad Khan. Yes.
Yeah,
I could see you. I was. Yes. So, Shashank, should we play your recorded video or will you be speaking live?
So I think I will. I'm boarding the flight to come to Goa to meet all of you. But I want to congratulate the Research Trust of Diabetes India, and my tribute goes to late Dr. Shaukat Sadikot. He was kind of a rebel of his times, thinking ahead of times to start this movement of Diabetes India, which was committed to people living with diabetes. And having seen him very closely and being my neighbor, it has been a wonderful journey. And I think this is a conference dedicated to him. And I congratulate you, Dr. Bansi Sabu, Dr. S.R. Arvind, Dr. Anup Mishra, Dr. K.M. Prasanna Kumar, Dr. Sanjay Reddy, and all the office bearers of the Diabetes India Research Trust for continuing the leading light for education, research, and caring for people living with diabetes. We have a common goal, that is to take care of people living with diabetes, and we need to ensure that they are complication-free, and we want to have a world without diabetes. And as Bansi had told in a Delhi meeting of Diabetes India, his overarching goal is to have a complication-free world with diabetes. So let us all join hands together to make lives of people living with diabetes better, longer, and more healthier and happier. That's the first goal. And we all know that type 2 diabetes is reversible. Let us aim to reverse diabetes, remedy diabetes, and let us look to do research to cure diabetes. Let us look for a diabetes-free world. And again, congratulate Dr. Jyotidev Kesavdev for a wonderful scientific fiesta, which is unraveling from today till Sunday. And I congratulate the entire team, which I can see here, for this wonderful extravaganza. Congratulations and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Shashank. Now I request RX events, because we have awards and function also still remaining. We asked Shashank to join early because he has to catch the flight. Now I request.
I'm there.
Yes, so Shashank is there, and we have every year Diabetes India, with the help of USV, we award few upcoming diabetologists from all across the country. We try to pick up one from each state, and we have this year also 20 awardee, which are Diabetes India Award, which we give with the support of USV. I would like RX Events to announce their name, and with the I will request our chief guest, Dr. Shashank Joshi, along with our guest of honor and special invitee. We would like to felicitate them with the award, and we will be also giving them physically award when they will be here tomorrow at lunchtime. So now I request RX Events to please show me the one by one the PowerPoint, and then we can give them award. Congratulations to Dr. G.K. Mittal. He is from Bilaspur. He is from Madhya Pradesh. Dr. G.K. Mittal, we congratulate you from Diabetes India to get award as a Diabetes India awardee, again with the support of USV. Next one. Congratulations to Dr. Avdesh Kumar from Bihar for getting this award from Diabetes India on this platform of inauguration. Congratulations to Dr. Avdesh. Dr. Konda Venugopal Reddy from Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. Congratulations to you for this award from Diabetes India. Next one. Dr. Abhishek Gupta from Rudrapur, Uttarakhand. Congratulations, Dr. Abhishek Gupta, for this award from Diabetes India Award 2022. Congratulations to Dr. Syed from Bangalore, Karnataka, for this award of Diabetes India. Dr. Deepak Agarwal from Guwahati. Congratulations for this award of Diabetes India USV Award, which we are giving to all diabetologists across the country for their great work in field of diabetes awareness as well as prevention. Next one. Dr. Surjit Kumar Patra, Bhubaneswar, Odisha, very upcoming diabetologist, and we see him regularly on our social media also. Congratulations, Diabetes India USV Award 2022. Dr. Shashi and Chakrabarti from Durgapur, West Bengal. Congratulations for this award for increasing awareness in field of diabetes in your area, and congratulations for this. Next one. Dr. Sapnil Bhavsar from Surat, Gujarat. Congratulations, Dr. Sapnil, for this award of Diabetes India USV Award 2022. Dr. Chandni Jain Bhuwania from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Congratulations for Diabetes India USV Award 2022.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Rahul Mediani Namdar from Solapur, Maharashtra. Congratulations, Dr. Rahul, for getting this award of Diabetes India USV Award. Dr. Anirben Biswas from Delhi, for congratulations you for Diabetes India USV Award 2022. Dr. J. Krishna B. Tharoor from Kerala, congratulations you for getting this award of Diabetes India USV Award 2022. Congratulations to Dr. Rakesh Parikh from Jaipur, Rajasthan. Congratulations for this award of Diabetes India USV Award 2022. Dr. Saurabh Mishra from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. Congratulations, Dr. Saurabh, for getting this award from Diabetes India USV Award 2022. Dr. Kuppuswamy M. from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Congratulations, Dr. Kuppuswamy, for this Diabetes India USV Award 2022. Thank you. Thanks to our chief guest as well as our president for awarding all the upcoming diabetologists from all across the country for this RSSDI USV Award. And thanks to USV for supporting this activity of giving award to all upcoming and young diabetologists of our country. Few words from our president for this award, and then I move on for vote of thanks.
Congratulations to all of you. And the special awards of Diabetes India to the upcoming and young diabetologists and endocrinologists was actually started a couple of years back. And it was our intention to ensure that a lot of good work is being done in smaller places, and especially for care of the people in a very affordable and an accountable way. And we do this with our pharma colleagues, USV. For the last couple of years, we have been doing that. And then we do ask and take their help in trying to see how many candidates actually come into this particular post. And then we actually select the candidates and then try to make it very interesting for them. And then this is something to encourage all our doctors. And I'm sure in years to come, many more will be motivated to actually take up this special award from Diabetes India. In fact, it was Dr. Banshi Sabu who actually gave us the idea a couple of years back that we should actually encourage the young diabetologists to take this up. Many seniors have actually asked this question, why am I not being selected? No, we don't want to select the seniors. We don't want to select the stalwarts. But this is for the new and upcoming people who have worked very hard, especially in trying times and situations, and in the last 2 years during the COVID era. And that's how the people are actually selected. And thanks, Banshi, for making a great effort on this. And I'm sure that we will be continuing to do this in years to come. Now, with that, I request Dr. Banshi to take over and close the session as we move on, because at 11 o'clock, we are starting the next session, and the first scientific session will start at 11 o'clock.
Still, we have 10 minutes, sir. Thank you very much. And thanks to USV for this partnering with us for this award. If anyone from USV is there, we can ask them for 2 minutes. If no one is there, we will have them again tomorrow at lunchtime. Shashank, you want to make any congratulation comment for all the awardee, and then we ask for what?
Banshi, just one comment.
Yes, sir.
All those who are interested in listening to best papers from our journal, Diabetes and Metabolic Syndrome Clinical Research and Reviews, please log in at 5 p.m. today. We have 5 very good papers going on from 5 to 7. Please log in. Thank you.
The editor choice best paper in diabetes and metabolic syndrome, and that's what we have the session at 5 p.m. And all sessions will be also pre-recorded, and recorded session will be there. If you miss any, then also you can listen. Now I request Dr. Manoj Chawla for proposing vote of thanks. Over to Dr. Manoj. Manoj is a senior diabetologist from city of Mumbai, very close friend of us, very close friend of mine. He has really worked very hard for this meeting, and I must appreciate and congratulate him for making this conference a wonderful congress. Over to Dr. Manoj.
Thank you, Bansi. And A warm welcome and good morning, everyone. Well, for a movement like Diabetes India and for a meeting like Diabetes India 2022, there are many people for us to thank. Let me start by remembering and thanking Dr. Sadikot, who has been the inspiration behind Diabetes India and the movement. And this movement is now has become a passion for many of us who've gotten along and joined in the way and have gotten dedicated to spreading the message of diabetes awareness and with the eventual hope of trying to improve lives of people with diabetes. For this particular meeting, I'm extremely grateful to our president, Dr. S.R. Arvind, the trustees, Dr. Anup Mishra, Dr. Sanjay Reddy, and of course, the Secretary of Diabetes India, Dr. Banshi Sabu, and Dr. Jyoti Dev, who is the current chair, for allowing me to be a part of this conference and contribute as organizing secretary. And we are extremely happy and proud to welcome all of you to this hybrid meeting at Goa from today, that is 20th to the 22nd of May. And I'm sure that you will all have a memorable scientific conference as well as a great opportunity to meet and network friends, many of us who haven't been able to meet over the pandemic. Let me also thank and take this opportunity to thank our chief guest, Dr. Shashank Joshi, who's been gracious enough to join us on his way to Goa, Dr. Vasant Kumar, President RSSDI, who shared his thoughts with us earlier, Dr. Sudhir Bandari, Vice Chancellor and Chair of Jaipur University, Dr. Mesbah Kamal, President of the Diabetes Asia Study Group, Dr. Erika Nishimura, who shared her thoughts about the discovery of insulin from Copenhagen, Denmark, Dr. Anup Mishra, Dr. Arvind, Bansi, Sanjay Reddy, Jyoti Dev, and the entire organizing team who have guided and helped us put this show together. Let me also take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you who've taken time out this morning to join us for the inauguration on this platform. And of course, many 1,000 of our registered delegates who have joined in for this event, as well as are attending the conference over the next 2.5 days. A big shout out and thank you to Team RX Events, Dr. Hardik and team who have worked tirelessly and endlessly and extremely efficiently in putting this whole show together. Many congratulations to RX, which is now moved from an online event management platform to both the online and in person. So a true hybrid event management platform. And some of the work we are going to experience over the next 2.5 days. So many congratulations and thank you to that entire team. Many congratulations to all the awardees, the Diabetes India awardees supported by USV. Congratulations and all of you keep up the great work. And we keep inviting all the young doctors to keep doing the great work and share their work with us so that they get their due recognition as well in the years to come. Let me also take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, without whom we know it will be extremely difficult to put up this academic event. And the entire team of sponsors, starting from Torrent, Eris, USV, just a second. So Torrent, USV, Eris, Alchem, Novo Nordisk, Sanofi, Cipla, MCure. Bunch, you'll have to keep helping me with the list here.
Sun Pharmaceutical.
Sorry?
Sun Pharma.
Sun Pharma. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Yes, I think I have the list here now. Abbott Healthcare, Lupin, Dr. Reddy's Labs, Mankind, Zydus Cadila, British Biologicals, Wokhart, Biocon, Cipla I mentioned, Remedios, and all the sponsors. My apologies if I've missed out any of the name, but all of you who have come out together to help us put this show up. So thank you all so much for supporting us and supporting Diabetes India. And of course, big thank you to all the faculty, both our speakers, national, international, and the chairpersons for again giving your valuable expertise and time to Diabetes India 2022. We greatly appreciate all your time and effort in being with us. Let me end by saying there are two ways that you can spread light in lives of people. One is being by a candle, and second is being by a mirror that reflects the light. Let me request all my medical fraternity to be both the candle and the mirror for our patients out there, so that we help them in each and every way possible in spreading more light and cheer and happiness in the lives of our people with diabetes all across. With those thoughts, I would hand it back to Dr. Banshi Sabu to end today's meeting, and a big thank you to the team. And I can see Dr. Arvind wanting to speak, and we welcome you again to the start of the virtual event today and the hybrid from tomorrow. See you really, really soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. I think before Banshi closes it up, I just wanted to say something. I just want to thank all the organizing team out here. And then I always say that, it takes great skill and knowledge to prepare a lecture for any of the speakers, especially on a virtual platform. But it also takes a great courage and a lot of patience for somebody to be listening to the lecture sitting in front of your computers or your phone. But that's where the great learning happens, because you're completely not disturbed from anybody, and that's where you actually pick it up. And these are thought leaders, globally recognized, who will be giving their lectures on the virtual platform. And however busy you are, my request is please go through the program and see what suits you the best, and please listen to this best of lectures. And a lot of effort has gone in, especially from the organizing team, to get these speakers to deliver the best of science today to all of you. With that, I'll hand it over to Banshi to make the concluding remarks and to wind up.
Thank you, Dr. Arvind. Thanks, Dr. Manoj Chawla, for proposing vote of thanks. As a secretary for Diabetes India, I thank the local organizing committee, Dr. Tejas, Dr. Desai, and Dr. Nayak from Goa. I also thank the complete organizing committee of this Diabetes India Goa meeting, which is on hybrid mode. So today is completely online, with starting from Dr. Sanjay Reddy, who is the organizing chairman, Dr. Manoj is the organizing secretary, Dr. Jyoti Dev, scientific chairman, the national coordinator, Dr. Mithun Bhartiya, and convener, Dr. Rajiv Kovil. So complete organizing team of Diabetes India, I must thank. And thank to all industry partners, all faculty, international, national, who are joining online or coming physically here. I'm thankful to each one of them. We are also thanking all the delegates who are joining us online, more than 10,000 delegates, participants who are joining, and they are registered. We have many of delegates and participants who are from Middle East also, and North Africa. Around 1,000 doctors are registered from Middle East and North Africa. I welcome them, and I'm thankful to them also for joining our Diabetes India meeting, and more than 10,000 doctors from all across the country. We have 1,000 doctors who will be coming here at Goa and will be joining us from tomorrow morning. With this, I thank each one of you who joined this Diabetes India Congress inauguration program. And now I request RX Events.
Bansi, just my apologies. Yes, I think I failed in my duty to recognize and acknowledge the local team I missed out. Of course, a big shout out and thank you to Dr. Digambar Nayak, Dr. Milind Desai, and Dr. Tejas Kamath for being the local pillars. And a special mention to Dr. Tejas Kamath for the entire help in getting us the CME credit points with Goa Medical Council. It has been a task in itself. So many thanks, Tejas, and the local team, and all the local Goa doctors who are going to be joining us as physicians and delegates. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, Manoj. And now I request RX Events for our national anthem, and then we close the program. Over to RX Events.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा चञ्चल जलधितरङ्गा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशिष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everyone. I'm sure everyone must have received their password and login details for joining the respective hall. And those who are chairing, those who are moderating, those who are part of the coordinating team, please join the respective hall.